Aber jetzt mal ehrlich, ne, wo wart ihr denn? Wo wart ihr denn, als GTA 5 rausgekommen ist? Natürlich war ich arbeiten an dem Tag, aber ich habe die Collectors Edition in die Arbeit bekommen und die habe ich dann nach Hause geschleppt. Und dann habe ich das Spiel erstmal eine Dreiviertelstunde installiert, auf meiner PS3 damals noch. Und dann habe ich gezockt. So, Freunde, herzlich willkommen hier zurück auf dem besten Gaming- und Reaction-Kanal auf meinem Kanal. Wir schauen heute von Dr. Mod. Kenne ich nicht, keine Ahnung. Ich habe das Video, wurde mir vorgeschlagen. What happened during GTA 5's Beta Development? Timeline and Photos. Hä, wieso 5? Hier wird 4 gezeigt. Ist egal. Ne? Ich habe mir schon mal so ein Video angeguckt von so einer Beta. Ich fand das ganz interessant. Und wir kennen natürlich auch die Beta von GTA 6 schon. Oder teilweise Ausschnitte. Da wird wahrscheinlich auch irgendwann ein Video kommen. Nicht von mir, von dem Kollegen hier vielleicht. Das guckt man dann noch an, wenn es soweit ist. So, und nicht vergessen, Freunde, für den Support, Abo, Like, Kommentar. Alles weitere erfahrt ihr unten in der Infocard. Und dann würde ich sagen, let's go, wir gehen rein.
It's early 2009, and the dust is still settling after the groundbreaking release of GTA 4.
GTA 4, ich habe das komplett verschlafen
Rockstar
mit dem
Games are now
Release.
openly working on Red Dead Redemption 1, set to release just 1 year away in 2010. But while the world was still roaming the gritty streets of Liberty City in anticipation for Rockstar's new Western title, something quieter was happening behind closed doors. The foundations of a new Grand Theft Auto.
Würdet ihr da gerne mal Mäuschen spielen in GTA Headquarter? Rockstar Headquarter? Ich schon. Ich würde da gerne mal reingehen. Ich würde mir aber nicht zu viel angucken. Ne, ich würde vielleicht mal kurz über die Schulter gucken und so weiter. Vielleicht beim Marketing mal vorbeischauen. Und ich glaube, dann würde ich wieder gehen.
Auto game were being planned. And just a few short months later, in April of 2009, the very first documented build of GTA 5 was created inside the walls of Rockstar's studio. How do I know this? Well, it turns out that Rockstar Games left in the build.xml in the game files, and tucked away within this text is the earliest reference we have of the game's existence. It can be said that at this point in development, the game was likely extremely empty. At this stage, the game would have likely just been a sandbox testbed built on GTA 4's Rage engine. There would have been no map, no missions, possibly just physics, a camera, or test characters.
Achso, soll ich mal Untertitel anmachen für alle Leute, die nicht so gut Englisch können?
Despite GTA 5's first build now being created, nobody in the outside world truly knew when the next GTA game would be announced officially. But Rockstar were busy dedicating a small team to GTA 5's pre-production. This could very well be the earliest screenshot we have of how the game may have looked sometime in 2009. And yes, this is a real development screenshot taken from a Rockstar employee's portfolio. And so they gave the project a code name, Project Rush. Nobody in the gaming community had any idea what Rockstar was planning next. But there was a whisper. On November 13th, 2009, the first official trace of a new Grand Theft Auto surfaced, and it was featured in an interview with the Sunday Times, a respected British newspaper. Easy to miss, but it was there. Dan Houser himself, Rockstar's co-founder and architect of the series, made a rare public comment about the next entry in the franchise. He didn't really say much, but he said that it was in the works and that the script in the next GTA entry would be about 1,000 pages long. But things were all about to change. On May 18th, 2010, Rockstar finally released Red Dead Redemption.
Stellt euch mal vor, da würde irgendjemand den Rockstar-Server hacken. Also ich glaube, das wird nicht passieren. Die werden nach dem Leak, werden die so viele Sicherheitsmaßnahmen gemacht haben, Alter, auch mit dem ganzen Slack-Channels und so. Und ich glaube, jetzt sozusagen haben sie den Kontakt zur Außenwelt komplett gekappt. Außer natürlich, weil die verschiedenen Studios müssen ja weltweit zusammenarbeiten. Ich weiß nicht, wie das genau funktioniert, aber ich glaube, den größten Teil haben die gekappt, weil die haben auch gesagt, ihr sollt wieder ins Büro kommen. Ne? Arbeiten und nicht Homeoffice und so ein Kram.
And now that this was out of the way, it was time to get to work on GTA 5. On July 26th, 2010, the first whispers broke the internet. Gaming site VG247 reported that Rockstar was actively working on the next Grand Theft Auto. The rumor was that GTA 5 would be set in Hollywood, Los Angeles. According to Eurogamer, Rockstar developers had been spotted in Southern California scouting locations for GTA 5. Reportedly, part of the team spent over 100 days embedded in Los Angeles, scouring everything from neighborhoods to prisons. According to the report, they'd even been talking to gang members and FBI agents. Across the build log, we see internal references that show us the game was now in full production, but at this point in time, the game is far from a smooth experience. Parts of the map and
Mich würde mal interessieren, wie die Videospiele in 100 Jahren aussehen, Alter. Also das muss richtig sick sein. Also die Welten werden wahrscheinlich riesig sein. Vieles wird mit KI erstellt werden. Also selbst die Spiele werden wahrscheinlich mit KI erstellt. Da wird nicht irgendwie nochmal jemand dran sitzen und wird da was zusammenschieben, sondern die KI wird schon mal so vordefinieren, wie könnte das aussehen. Zum Beispiel, die werden dann einfach sagen, ja, bilde mal Los Angeles nochmal komplett nach, wir wollen nochmal GTA 5 machen oder so. Also GTA 5 Welt, nur alles größer, keine Ahnung, 20 mal größer oder so. Das wird komplett crazy. Also ich werde es nicht mal miterleben, aber für alle in Zukunft, Freunde, wenn ihr dieses Video seht und in 100 Jahren, in 2125, seid gegrüßt. Und like dieses Video, wenn ihr das auf YouTube seht.
Now in place, simple mechanics are working, but one key comment reads, games running in low FPS, shadows flicker, vehicle reflections are broken. This tells us that by late 2010, GTA was running in some form, but the engine was likely just rendering test environments or prototype assets. But key visual elements like shadows and reflections were malfunctioning. This is one of the first signs that the game could boot and render something playable, though still clearly unoptimized. Imagine what it would have been like to play a version of GTA 5 this infant in its development cycle. November 22nd, 2010, following the finalization of the general script, a casting call quietly goes live online under the codename Rush. On the surface it looked like any other Hollywood audition sheet. A list of quirky, chaotic characters for a project supposedly about the lives of criminals and corrupt law enforcement. But this wasn't just some indie flick. Rush, as you know, was Rockstar's internal cover name for GTA 5. Except nobody knew this at the time. In fact, even the actors who were auditioning for the parts didn't know that they were auditioning for the game. For a short time, this Rush casting call would remain secretive and fly under the radar, but not for long. It was only a matter of time before gamers and fans of the series would uncover the truth. But for now, let's return back to the build log to get an idea of where the game currently is in its development. It's now December the 9th, 2010, and it seems development was still having a rough time, as expected. It suggests that the lighting system was actively being implemented or tweaked at this current time, but obviously there were some pretty big issues. In early 2011, Rockstar were getting to a stage where the game is almost in shape to reveal, and started to work on a trailer. This then would mean that by early 2011, a lot of the map was mostly in place. We can see comments such as first version of police AI added, and chase system breaks when near the water. Rockstar was now working on core gameplay systems. The addition of police AI is huge here because it's a big milestone, and it also shows that a lot of the map and roads were probably ready. It means pedestrians, vehicles, and law enforcement logic were being integrated. But something big also happened this month, something that would send the community into speculation overdrive. In March 2011, Rockstar quietly registered a handful of strange website domains, names like lifeinvader.com and sixfiguretemps.com, hinting at satirical in-game websites and fake businesses. While they didn't mention GTA outright, their tone was definitely unmissable.
Aber jetzt mal ehrlich, ne, wo wart ihr denn? Wo wart ihr denn, als GTA 5 rausgekommen ist? Also natürlich war ich arbeiten an dem Tag, aber ich habe die Collectors Edition in die Arbeit bekommen. Also, ne? Damals war es ja noch nicht so, dass ich einfach zum Mediamarkt einen Tag früher gegangen bin, weil ich gedacht habe, hey, ich könnte das Spiel früher bekommen. Bei Red Dead 2 habe ich das zum Beispiel so gemacht. Da bin ich am Donnerstag um 18 Uhr, gab es ja noch kein Carola. Das war noch vor Carola. Da bin ich dann zum Mediamarkt gegangen und dann habe ich mir das Spiel mitgenommen. Ich weiß gar nicht warum, weil ich habe das gar nicht an diesem Tag gespielt, glaube ich. Red Dead 2, oder? Oder habe ich das da schon einen Tag gespielt? Und ich weiß gar nicht, ob ich Freitag frei hatte. Naja, ist ja auch wurscht. Aber GTA 5, da hatte ich die Collectors Edition, die habe ich an die Firma bekommen. Und die habe ich dann nach Hause geschleppt. Und dann habe ich das Spiel erstmal eine Dreiviertelstunde installiert. Auf meiner PS3 damals noch. Ich glaube sogar, das war noch die Fat Lady. Also ich hatte natürlich nicht die erste PS3, sondern das war die 80 GB Version, glaube ich. Ja. Und dann habe ich gezockt. Und ich glaube, damals konnte man schon auf Twitch gucken. Ich glaube, ich habe mir damals auf Twitch mal so ein paar Szenen angeguckt. Ja.
And unmistakable as a Rockstar GTA product. We believe we actually have some development photos of the game in its current state around this time. Take a look here. If you didn't know, GTA 5 was built on GTA 4's Rage engine. Think of the engine like the foundations of a house, and the game is then built from that upwards. As you can see from these screenshots posted on an official Rockstar developer's portfolio, we can see that the GTA 4 minimap is currently present here. So it seems around this time they really were making some progress, but some of the UI elements were still outdated. But then suddenly, in March of 2011, something really big happened. Something that Rockstar were hoping would never happen. A fan was browsing the internet when they stumbled and dug up a strange casting call online for a project called Rush. There was no mention of Rockstar, but one name stood out: Telsey and Company, the same casting agency that had worked with Rockstar on Red Dead Redemption and LA Noire. The Rush casting call had been found. The casting call describes roles for characters with names like Kevin De Silva, a 20-year-old who smokes too much pot and played video games all day. Sound familiar? An Armenian car dealer with dodgy business ties. There was even a corrupt FBI agent who hates his life and lashes out on those around him. There was over a dozen other roles, each dripping with satire and screaming Grand Theft Auto. Fans weren't 100% sure yet, but they began piecing things together.
Wurde GTA 5 nicht auch noch zweimal verschoben? Oder nur einmal? Ich glaube, das sollte im Frühling rauskommen, ne? 2013. Und dann kam es im September, glaube ich, raus, 2013.
By summer of 2011, some huge advances in the game were evident in the build log. We see comments such as driving camera too stiff and, quote, crashes when entering helicopters. GTA 5 had obviously reached a critical turning point here. The game was obviously fully playable, running noticeably smoother, and Rockstar had begun focusing less on core engine stability and more on bringing the world and story to life, as well as some small UI changes, which is pretty significant. By now it's been 3 whole years since GTA 4 has released, and no new news on a new GTA game. Remember, this is from a time when Rockstar was releasing a new GTA title every few years or so. Obviously, due to this, the hype began to grow and rumours began to be posted online of a new GTA in the works. It's around this time where they were finalising the footage that they wanted to use for the trailer. They were nearly ready to reveal GTA 5 to the world, but the map wasn't quite 100% finished. We know this because we can still find screenshots from developer portfolios like this one which clearly show the map in place, as explained earlier. The minimap seems to be working, but there's some giant parts of the map missing. The same goes for here in Sandy Shores. Well, that was missing an entire area as well. If you look really closely in the background here, you can see that parts of the map are missing. It's now October 2011, and while nobody knows it yet, we're just weeks away from finding out that GTA 5 actually exists in an official announcement from Rockstar. While this wouldn't be officially revealed until November the 5th, a few select members who work for official PlayStation magazine were allegedly invited to Rockstar North's offices on October 18th to see a 30-minute gameplay footage of GTA 5. That was a whole week before the first trailer was revealed. They saw a ton of interiors, including a shopping mall, college campus, police station, and a huge hospital. Sadly, this is the reality of game development. As development continued and more assets were added to the map, performance began to dip, especially considering the consoles the game was designed for only had 256 megabytes of video RAM. Just 256 megabytes to render the game. This is why, sadly, as development continued, a lot of things had to be cut from the game, interiors being one, but also other things like vegetation and trees. Looking at some of these beta images, you can notice that the game had a ton of vegetation and hundreds of trees populated the streets. But they certainly knew that if they continued to add more vegetation and objects to the game, it just simply wouldn't work. Then,
Aber warum haben die das dann nicht in der PS5-Version drin, Alter? Das müsste doch eigentlich funktionieren, oder? Also, klar, da kam ja dann die PS3-Version kam raus, ein Jahr später kam die PS4-Version raus. Da war schon ein bisschen mehr, aber in der PS5-Version haben die, glaube ich, nicht mehr Pflanzen reingeballert.
Seemingly out of nowhere, Rockstar Games dropped an official statement on GTA 5. Along with this announcement came a link to the official website. When clicked, it led viewers to a page with a black screen, a large GTA 5 logo. The website had a countdown, and everybody went crazy. But despite the trailer then being released...
So geil, ne? Damals war irgendwie noch alles so ein bisschen mit Countdown und alles saßen vor ihrem Rechner mit diesen. Da hatte man ja noch nicht diese riesen Monitore, ne? Da hattest du eventuell noch so ein. Ja, man hatte schon Flachbildmonitore, aber nicht irgendwie 32, 27 oder so, sondern eher so 19 und 17, ne? 4:3
Shortly afterwards, it's
Monitore.
evident that looking at it, the map really was still under works. In this scene here, as this obey flies past the camera, we can see that part of the map in the background isn't even rendered in at all. Or whether that part of the map genuinely wasn't done yet, well, I guess we don't know. As 2012 rolled in, the tone of the build logs changes dramatically, suggesting that the project was reaching a more stable phase. While the game was far from polished, it's now running smoothly enough that the flood of issues and reports seen in the earlier builds had pretty much disappeared. Rockstar Games shared the first official Grand Theft Auto 5 screenshots in July of 2012, following the development's success. This is where we get some early glimpses of the vegetation still present at this point in time in the game. It seems that at this point Rockstar still hadn't removed things that would later no longer be in the game, like these pink trees in Mirror Park. The storyline of the game is now most likely complete, and devs are hard at work getting the experience smoothed out. With a clearer view of that progress, Rockstar made it official, a spring 2013 release.
Genau.
Obviously at this point in time, Rockstar must have been relatively confident that they could hit that release window. As Rockstar began to polish the experience in late 2012, they decided to experiment with things, different additions to add to the game, different features, adding the final touches that may or may not make it to the final game. One of these was this pause menu concept, really interesting abstract images. Hidden in them, you can find the word pause on billboards, neon signs, or whatever. Obviously, these never made it to the final game, so at some point Rockstar decided that this just wasn't gonna make it.
Ich frag mich immer, wer das entscheidet, Alter. Da haben ja wohl, also an GTA 5 haben irgendwie 10.000 Leute dran gearbeitet. Also, wer entscheidet denn
November
das?
5th, 2012, they opened pre-orders and publicly committed to the launch window of spring. But just a few months later, there was a big issue. October 18th, 2012, quite late into development, there was a note saying quite a lot of crashes, mostly fixed now. The next day, memory issues persisted. Memory is low on console test runs. Loading asserts still happening. By December, Rockstar was assembling the first dedicated multiplayer builds, had to grab previous props to work around the phone being broken, disabled the entire radio system because it was causing crashes. Obviously, as late as December, these issues are
Bin echt gespannt, wie GTA 6 online wird, Alter.
pretty significant,
Das wird so sick.
especially if you're promising a spring release. It seems like the game had gone into bug over.
Also guckt euch mal GTA 5 online an. Wie es jetzt existiert. Also wir müssen nicht davon sprechen, dass es vielleicht nicht richtig war, fliegende Autos und Motorräder da einzubauen. Ne, am Ende hat die halt irgendwie jeder genutzt. Ne? Deluxo, ich meine, mein Nummer 1 Auto ist der Deluxo. Ne? Also mit dem bin ich nur unterwegs. Aber was sie bisher daraus gemacht haben, das Spiel existiert online immer noch. Es spielen so viele Leute. Und natürlich sagen die ganzen Leute, ja, die Milch, die Kuh, die kann man immer noch melken, bla bla bla. Aber ich sage euch ganz ehrlich, ihr müsst das Spiel ja nicht spielen. Aber ich habe immer noch Spaß daran. Ich habe immer noch Spaß an dem Spiel.
Overload because in December 2012, Rockstar's internal bug tracker surpassed 900,000 entries. Among them were things like missions failing to launch from trigger zones, players getting stuck in mission cutscene loops, and vehicle radio crashing the physics engine. All of these bugs, thousands of entries apart from each other, showing that thousands of bugs were currently present. The game was often crashing and derailing progress. Rockstar's solution currently was to completely disable broken systems temporarily to keep it from crashing. The clock was obviously ticking. Would they really make a spring release date? 100 days until then? Obviously, as you know, sadly not. On January the 7th, 2013, build version 305 noted still some stability issues. While the game was pretty much complete in terms of story and map, there's absolutely no way Rockstar could commit to the spring release date. The delay was necessary. GTA 5 is a massive, ambitious and complex
17.
game.
September.
Trust us, it will be worth the extra time, they said. They actually genuinely seem to have some pretty big issues going.
Ich habe damals sogar noch ein Foto gemacht. Ich kann das ja mal kurz raussuchen. Ich weiß nur nicht mehr, auf welchem Instagram-Account das war. Jetzt muss ich mal gucken. 2013, Alter. Also es gab mal eine Zeit, da habe ich nicht viele Fotos auf Instagram gemacht. Ab und zu. Deswegen ist es relativ überschaubar, sage ich jetzt mal. Wir müssen auch gleich da sein. Moment, ich zeige euch das mal kurz. Kann ich euch das einfach so zeigen? Ich glaube, ich mache einen Screenshot und zeige euch dann. Zeige euch dann das Spiel. Moment. The Last of Us Remastered habe ich hier. Red Dead 1. Hä? Lol. Okay. Mal wieder zocken. PS4. Ja, ganz wichtige Ereignisse habe ich festgehalten, Freunde. Das muss doch hier irgendwo sein. Mein Gott, wenn ihr diese Bilder sehen könntet. Moment, ich guck mal kurz. 2013 August. Hier. Ich mach mal kurz einen Screenshot. Ich habe sogar 3 Likes drauf. Ich glaube, damals hatte ich noch hatte ich das noch offen, mein Profil. Da konnten mich die ganzen Leute stalken. Auf meiner alten Couch. Bin ich nach Hause gekommen, habe das hingelegt und da habe ich ein Foto von gemacht. Das ist natürlich komplett unscharf, ne? Weil ich es damit ich weiß gar nicht, mit welchem Handy ich das damals gemacht habe. Ob ich damals schon ein Smartphone hatte oder nicht, kann ich euch gar nicht sagen.
Behind the lines. For the rest of the development cycle, Rockstar Games hammered out many of the bugs we've just mentioned, and the development went rather well. The game had the perfect amount of time for polish, and Rockstar definitely felt confident that they could deliver the product by September. On March 31st, 2013, a large mural began taking shape on the side of a building in Manhattan. At first glance, it looked like another piece of stylized street art, but fans quickly noticed something very interesting. It looked like some artwork that they were familiar with from GTA 5, followed by the face of Trevor. It was the official box art being painted in real time. One GTA forums user managed to snap early photos of the work in progress, and as the image started to fill out, fans went crazy. The official GTA 5 box art was going to be revealed. It was an incredibly clever marketing campaign. It drove fans right into the moment, and shortly thereafter, the official box art later that day was also revealed on Rockstar's official website. GTA 5's development cycle had finalized. Rockstar Games were finally confident that they could hit that release window. And obviously, on September 17th, 2013, the fastest selling entertainment product ever, GTA 5 was a Goliath, and a huge success for Rockstar. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and I hope I've broken down how the development cycle might have worked for GTA 5 and shown you some really fascinating imagery. If you enjoyed the video, it would really help me out if you click subscribe, or if you want to, go and check out One State using my link in the description. And I'll see you guys in another video.
Alright, gutes Video, Freunde. So, ja, interessant mal zu sehen, wie das so entstanden ist alles, ne? Also klar, das sind jetzt wahrscheinlich auch ein paar Vermutungen dabei, aber ja, interessant. Mal gucken, ob wir so ein Video für GTA 6 dann auch irgendwann bekommen, wo wir sozusagen diese ganz alten Builds mal zu sehen, dass man die mal sieht, wie das Spiel entstanden ist. Sowas veröffentlicht Rockstar ja nicht offiziell, ne? Aber ich glaube, für die Fans wäre das mal ganz interessant zu sehen. Gut, Freunde, nicht vergessen, Abo, Like, Kommentar für den Support und dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal. Haut rein.